So today's video, we talking about desires versus God's will. So let's get straight into the video. We have a quote, okay? And it says, God grants our desires according to his will and not ours, okay? Sometimes in life, right, we put our own selfish desires before what God truly wants for us. And that's the wrong way to go about things. When we give God like our full attention and we listen to him and we connect with him and we know what his heart is and what he says about the things that he wants to give us and the things he wants in our lives, if we are pushing only the things that we want, that we think we need, we may not get what God has for us in the fullness of what he has for us. Because the reality is that we as people only think to a certain level, and usually God has way more than what we expect for ourselves in his plans. So that's why sometimes we have to drop our desires and ask God, hey God, what is your desire for my life? What do you want me to have in this life? What do you desire for me to do? What kind of work do you want me to do? How do you want me to bring you glory? How do you want me to make your name great? And when you think about life like that, it gets a little bit the stress off of you. It's like, okay, I'm just supposed to do what God tells me. I'm supposed to be obedient to what he tells me. And a little story time. Yesterday I was talking to my mother-in-law, and if y'all have been keeping up with me, then y'all know that I was doing a TTC journey because I want a baby. And then also I was talking about how I had wanted to stop taking my psych meds. And literally both of those things not happening the way that I wanted to just showed me how not in control I am of my life. And not in a bad way, because literally the baby thing, God gives people babies. The act to make a baby does not always make babies. And there's proof. You can ask any couple. God makes babies, because every time that you do the act and you know, do all that stuff, does not produce a baby. Are gifts from God. And he gives you babies when he sees fit. And you cannot push your desires onto him, because sometimes we don't even know what's coming next in our lives. Maybe you're like, I want a baby right now, but he knows that 2 months down the road, you're gonna have to be in the hospital, or somebody that you know is gonna get sick, or maybe you're gonna get sick, or maybe your finances aren't completely right, or maybe you have to move into this new house that he wants you to get, or maybe he wants you to get a promotion before he gives you that child. And those are just scenarios, but there's so many things that we don't know in the physical realm that he knows in the spiritual and physical realm, and that's the reason why he does things the way he does. We cannot push our desires onto God. He can push his desires onto us because he's all-knowing. He knows everything. He knows what you need. He knows what you don't say. He knows what you need to say. He knows every little thing about you. He knows to a T. Even things that you don't even realize about yourself, he knows. And sometimes he'll reveal it to you. But when you really want to be in God's will, plan, purpose for your life, it's never going to go the way that you expect. It's never going to go the way that you expect. Sometimes what God will do, right? He'll put the end goal in your mind. He'll let you see that. He'll let somebody say it to you, like, I see you doing this. Or you'll get a vision of something that's supposed to happen in the future, and maybe a dream, or just you just sitting down and you just thinking, and you see this vivid image of, okay, this is where God wants to take me. But he doesn't show you the journey getting there, because if he showed us the journey to get into the things that we really want, boy, we would be like, nah, I'm tapping out. I'm done. I ain't doing all that. Because it's never just straight. It's never just easy coasting. It's never like that. Life is so unexpected. I literally just had a conversation with my husband about just how life is never going straight. And he was telling me, like, Jayla, nothing in our life has ever gone completely how we planned it. Nothing, like literally nothing. But the end goals that we saw that God gave us, they have come to pass, just not the way that we expected. This is why it's so important to push aside your desires and ask God, what is your plan? Give me the first step. And then once I take that first step, give me the second step. And once I take that second step, give me the third step. And so on and so forth until we get to that final destination. But it will not work if we try to work in our own strength. It will not work. It will not work. It will not work. I'm telling you, it will not work. I am a living witness to when you do things in your own strength, it will not work. Me, 5 years ago, got diagnosed with bipolar, then tried to get off medication because I got a message from my previous pastor that I didn't need to be on the medicine. I'm like, yeah, that must be right now. I'm gonna take all my medicine. And then I ended up back in the hospital 3 years in a row. And now, because I listened to God and took the medicine and did what I had to do for the time being, I have now been manic-free, depression-free for almost 3 years. And that's because I took steps. And I did not push my own desire, which was to be off medication, to not be considered crazy. Even though nobody's ever told me that I'm crazy. I just put that in my own head. But my desire was to not be on medication. And I thought that it was happening soon because I'm doing the stuff that I'm supposed to do. I'm like getting my sleep and eating right and exercising and doing X, Y, Z. But I know that God said he's gonna heal me. I know that he promised me that, but I don't think I've taken all the steps to get there yet. And another thing that my mother-in-law was telling me is there's always also a process of your faith, solidifying your faith so that you can do those things that God has said for you to do and God has shown you that you will do. And you can't rush the process. You cannot rush the process. But God, just know at the end of the day that God is going to grant you the desires of your heart, but it will always be in due time. So I challenge y'all, whatever goals that you set for 2024, I want you to bring it to God. I want you to sit down and say, God, these are my goals. Tell me which ones I can start working on and tell me which ones I need to put on the back burner. Let me know where to start. Tell me my first steps so that I'm in your will and not in my desires. As long as it's in your will, God, let it be done. And wait. After you pray, wait. Wait. That's so important. You have to wait and sit still and be silent and listen for his voice. Listen for his voice. Listen, feel his presence. And if he talks to you in dreams, wait for the dream. If he talks to you verbatim or he shows you visions, write down what he's showing you and write down those steps. And I guarantee you, if you operate like that, bring every issue, concern, goal, any idea that you have, bring it to God first. Ask him, hey, Lord, this is what I want. What is your want for me? And see how it changes your life. I guarantee you it's going to change your life for the better. And I guarantee you you're going to be way better off for it. But that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope it encouraged y'all. Leave a comment, leave a like, share if you want to, if it really blessed you. I love y'all. I'll see you on the next video. Peace. We are leaving the Rose Room.